how to... Hey, my name is Belen Diaz, and this is the E-volve show. And today we have with us a very special guest. Her name is Petia Kolibova. Petia Kolibova is a women's transformation coach who helps women on the path to healing from past wounds move through their limiting beliefs and internal blocks so they can finally do what they want to do in their lives. Well, hello, Petia. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful, and even better now that I'm super excited about talking with you.
That's great. Thank you so much for your time and for being here with us. So Petia is a women's transformation coach. And if you want to tell us a little bit of your work or what you do.
Absolutely. I love it how you flip it around like, hey, introduce yourself. I love that. I love that. I'm a transformational coach for past 3 years. Before that, I had my social media marketing company. And when people ask me like, how did you know that you want to be coaching? I didn't. Like, I became entrepreneur by accident, and I simply created something that I wished that existed, because I'm coming from a place of like feeling the darkness and feeling the disconnect and self-hatred and depression, anxiety. And 10, 15, 20 years ago, it wasn't as easy as going on Instagram, ask Uncle Google how to feel better. It was different times. So now I'm just reminding women how powerful they are, that they are meant for more, and they're truly worthy of living the life on their own terms.
Yeah, totally. I'm with you because I feel like before it wasn't as easy as talking about these things, but nowadays it's more normal to have a coach or go to somebody to help you. And that's kind of like a great job that you guys are doing out there to help people, actually to guide them to find what they want or to feel more empowerment. So yeah, that's a great thing.
Absolutely. And then right now it's amazing because what I do, it's everything online. But before this, I was doing retreats in Bali. I was doing women's weekends in Las Vegas, where I live. I was supposed to be hosting now in the end of April live event called Men for More for Women Only, which we just get to postpone. You know, we're all waiting for doors to open again. But it's just beautiful to be surrounded with women who are so supportive and so full of themselves in the best way possible, instead of competing and cattiness. And it's so beautiful because we realize that by being ourselves, we are already living our purpose.
Yeah. And that's so important what you were saying, like collaborating with other women and supporting each other. And today we're here talking to be more confident, feel more confident. So how was that with you? Like, did you always feel confident and you want to teach that and empower women? Or it was more like you were not feeling that much confidence, so you learn about it? Tell us, how was your story with that?
Such a beautiful question. And I truly don't believe that the best mentors and coaches, they learn about it or they were like born, with it. The thing is that confidence, it's like a muscle. You got to work on it every single day. And like I mentioned a little bit, I had no confidence. I had no self-esteem. I didn't know who I am. I'm like recovering people pleaser, trying to do everything for everyone and outsourcing my worthiness. When we talk about confidence, you get to think about the word worthy and worthiness, because when you're feeling worthy, you are confident. It's the same thing, because you can think like, oh, I'm confident, because I'm walking like up straight and I'm feeling good, but it all comes from within. And I was raised back in Czech Republic, in a family that I was mentally and physically abused. I ran away from home when I was 18. I ran away. And a couple of years later, I went to London. Then I lived in Spain for 4 years. And then I moved here to United States. So it took me 3 decades to even start, on my own personal development and journey. I started when I was like 27.
Mm-hmm.
because I felt very unfulfilled, very unhappy. When I was 18, I attempted for suicide. I was suffering with eating disorder for 18 years, which was
Wow.
most of my life. And so, no, I wasn't confident. And I was looking at everybody else around me and I thought like, oh, they have their stuff together. They know what they are doing. They know why they're here. And I was always struggling with, why am I even here? I don't matter. And when you have that feeling, there is no way you will be confident in anything you're doing. It all starts with you and seeing your uniqueness.
Totally. And that's why you say like it's just hard because I feel like a lot of young women are dealing with that, you know, like I deal with it, you deal with it. I feel like it's kind of like natural to deal with it, and being like while you're growing up feel like insecure or like what am I doing, is this what I want? So I feel like it's something very important to start working in self-development and reaching out to people to just to help, you know. So I was gonna ask you, how did you start with self-development? Like, did you start reading books? Did you find somebody online? What was
So I always loved books. I was always reading, but I was reading more like a Shakespeare and, like science fiction or about ghosts and life after life and spirits and stuff like that. So that didn't help much with self-esteem. However, when I was going into like my second life crisis, first it was when I was 18, and then when I was around 27, my eating disorder was so bad that it was really controlling all of my thoughts and my daily actions. And I was emotionally eating, and I came to the moment that I realized that this is slowly killing me. I don't want to live like this.
Yeah.
And I was feeling like a slave. And one night, when I was feeling really down, I was crying and I said, like, I need to change something. So I went on Google and I started to look for how to feel happy, how to overcome eating disorder, and all like how to stop suicidal thoughts and all of this depression and anxiety. And luckily I found Louise Hay, and I started to listen to her videos and reading her books, and she's like the mother of self-love for me, So that was the big one. And also still before I moved to United States, when I lived in Spain, I was reading Paulo Coelho. I love his books. I feel like I read all of them, but especially it's so beautiful, and especially The Alchemist, because he's absolutely incredible storyteller, and Alchemist gave me a hope. That's what I really needed, and that's what I'm giving now to my clients. I don't tell them like do this, do that. I invite them what worked for me on my journey. So it's not only strategies for their business, if that's what they desire to build, online business and have the freedom, but it's mainly the mindset, because mindset is like unlearning.
Totally.
Because we learn from our parents, from school, from friends, our boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever, that we get to be doing things to feel worthy. We get to be always like centered on the outside and on the objects instead of being centered inside. And once you turn that in, you will realize that all your life you're guided, and the confidence comes from within, because you realize that you're never alone. And it doesn't matter if you believe source, universe, angels, God, it's like whatever you want to name it, there is force bigger than you that it's keeping us alive and keeping us safe, even if it doesn't feel these days like this.
Seriously.
It does. So when you rely on that, something bigger than you, and you take a few deep breaths and you always make sure that you are feeling good, the good things will come to you.
Yeah, that's totally true. And let's stop looking outside too, is what you were saying. Like sometimes it's like we're looking and looking and looking for things, and the reality is just looking inside. That's what I realized for myself too. Like I was like moving from Spain to Los Angeles, and then here and then there, trying to figure out what I wanted. Like I didn't know what I wanted to do. I work in different things. And then once that you're actually good with yourself, everything just get together.
Yeah. I
But
always remind my clients that they're perfectly made for their purpose,
yeah.
because we are trying to do what other people are doing and like running around. And the moment that you realize, like, I was created to be me, I was created for a reason. You don't need to know the reason. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just get to trust and look at yourself. What are your gifts that comes to you easily?
Mm-hmm.
What are some things that you can rely on? What people come to you for? And just do things. Because one of my clients, she asked me, how did you know what's your purpose? How did you know what to do? How did you become so sure of yourself? Then I
Yeah.
say, honey, by doing. You
Doing
gotta take
and
it in,
time.
right? You gotta take inspired action. And like you, Bill, and you're doing things. You know, it's not like you're sitting and wishing for your life to change and come to you. You're reaching out to people, you're connecting, you're creating something that it's really needed. So we're always rewarded for action. Sometimes it's a lesson that we need to up level, but we're always rewarded.
Totally. So I was gonna ask you, what will be some tips or one tip, actionable tip for our audience to feel more confident or to start learning about it or working on it?
So to feel confident, you first need to feel really secure about who you really are. You need to know what you stand for. So one of the exercises that I love to give my clients, and I want to share with your audience, is take a piece of paper, divide it in two, and on one side you write down the things you don't stand for. Those are the things that you hate. And then on the other side, you write the things that are complete opposite. What do you do stand for? So for example, I don't stand for wars, I stand for peace. I don't stand for cheating, I stand for loyalty. I don't stand for being cheap, I stand for generosity. You go on and on, one over the other, and you have 20 things on left side, 20 things on right side. Then you take a highlighter, and from the things that you do stand for, you pick 3 things. I'm showing 2, but it's 3. 3 things, and those things are your core values. For me, for example, it's loyalty, generosity, always growing. You don't have those, you're not in my life. I don't work with people who don't align with those values, and I'm not surrounded with people who don't have those. When people have different values, it doesn't mean they're bad people.
Mm-hmm.
It just means that they're on a different path. And this exercise really helps you to stand tall and say, this is what I stand for. Universe, God, source, this is what I want more of in my life. And when I did this exercise like 2.5, 3 years ago, I took inventory of my life and I realized, I'm like, oh my gosh, no, like nothing aligned. My relationships, my business, myself, I just didn't align with those. And they were the most important things in my life. So I let go of my social media marketing business. I let go of my 5-year relationship. You know, now I'm like happily divorced. And I just let go of everything. It was scary, but what's more scary, it's not living in a truth to who we really are. And I was able to attract the love of my life, my soulmate clients. I have 5-figure months business, and I love what I do. I have the freedom. I work 3 days a week. And if you would have told me a couple of years ago, I wouldn't believe you. But we overthink and overanalyze, know what you stand for, and then you stand so firmly in it that the universe will bring it to you.
Yeah, it's so interesting how you say first write down the things that you hate or you don't like, because it feels like we are more conscious or we know which ones those are because we're all day telling us those things instead of the positive things or the things that we like. So we have to work harder in the good stuff that we align to. It's so interesting.
It is, but when you think about it, when like women, they come to me because they're like, I don't know what I want. I was doing everything for everybody. I don't know who I am. I'm like, you just don't remember. So it's easier to say and see what is that you don't want. And when you see what you don't want, you automatically know what you do want. it's easier to start there.
Totally.
And it's okay. There is no judgment. It's okay to do it this way, whatever way works for you.
Nice. So good. So valuable too. That's a great tip. So do you want to tell us a little bit about your free gift? We have something for the audience, and we'll have it in the email for all of you to sign in or download.
Absolutely. And it's the gift that I'm giving. It's called How to Be Attracting Your Soulmate Clients in a Times of Uncertainty. And you can use it to attract anything in your life. So even if you don't have business, you can attract your soulmate, you can attract opportunities, friends, whatever. I'm using soulmate clients because women that I work with want to create their own online business. But this is a 3-day video series where I walk you through the most important things of how to be attracting, how to use law of attraction. And it's so easy that anyone can do that. And I also give you worksheets, and they're beautiful. I love beautiful things. So for every one of you, this is my gift to you, because this is something I truly wish that existed, that this is how I built my business.
That's great. Well, Petia, thank you so much. We'll have your address, your email, not your email address, your website and all your information, so all our audience can reach to you if they want to talk to you, ask you questions or anything. Is there anything you want to add to the conversation? Or
I would just really want to remind people that they get to learn to trust their intuition. When something feels or doesn't feel right, just trust that, and trust that you are truly here for a reason. And you don't have to have everything figured out. Just ask yourself, what is the one best next thing I can do? And go for it fully.
That's great. Thank you so much for your time. It was great talking to you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
Bye.